The NBA, one of the big stories coming into this season was the arrival of Victor Wembanyama, the 7'4" phenom from France. And Rob, he has been very good. These are his numbers through his first 22 games. 19.3 points per game, team high. 10.7 rebounds per game, team high. 3 blocks per game, team high. 1.3 steals per game, team high. So he's leading the team in 4 categories, 4 of the major categories. He's only shooting 43.7% from the floor.
That's not good.
And 27% from Trey. So those are the negatives, if you will. But overall, the numbers are nice. But the biggest negative, Rob, I mean, you've been talking about the Detroit Pistons.
Right, who've lost 20.
What have they lost now? Is it 20 straight?
Right, Steve, 20 or is it 21?
2021. It's probably, I don't know when that thing's going to end.
20. It's 21.
21 straight games. They're 2-22. Washington isn't much better. Now, Washington's actually hot. Well, they're only on a 6-game losing streak, and they're 3-20. They're 3-20.
And Washington, one of their wins, right, was against the Pistons, I think.
Oh,
the Pistons started the season 2-1.
They got it circled when they play each other. Those two in San Antonio got each other circled.
I saw a stat. This was a little bit ago. The 3 of those teams had combined for a record of 1-49. Washington
over like the last,
like that was the streak going up to a couple of days ago. Because obviously, but it was 1-49 in their last 50. Those 3 teams.
Well, San Antonio's in there. They're 3-20
because they've lost
18 straight. So at one point, Rob, think about it. They were 3-2. Remember they beat Phoenix with Durant, and it was like, wow. So what is your take on this? My quick take before you go, I don't think this is a reflection on Victor Wembanyama at all. I don't expect the 19-year-old kid to step in and win basketball games in the NBA. He's shown individually that he can play. I mean, I just told you his numbers. He's basically averaging 20, 10, and 3. So I don't hold this against him. Yeah, 18 is a lot. I mean, that's unusual. But, Rob, LeBron James, now individually, Wembanyama's numbers are better than LeBron's across the board, which LeBron's first 21 games or 23 games was about 16 points a game, about 5 assists, 5 rebounds, something like that. Shooting percentages were lower. And that team, Rob, was 4-15. 5-16, 6-19. I mean, they struggled, obviously. They lost their first 5. So this is not unusual. 18, again, a little bit strange, but I don't hold this against Wembanyama. Do you?
Absolutely, I do.
Wow.
Because if we were going to give this kid praise, he's supposed to be a generational talent. And, Chris, I'm not sitting here telling you he ain't going to the Hall of Fame or his career's over. But if we were going to praise this kid for the numbers and the stuff that we thought he would do, then we got to look at it and say, every team would love to have your franchise player, the guy you're building around. And I get it, you got to get other players around. But to lose 18 straight is dubious. How in the world does he not have an impact, Chris, with all the bad NBA teams around, that he can't win a game once in a while, even by himself? I don't care who the secondary and third dairy players are, secondary, third dairy, and dairy period. But, I mean, I just don't look at it like that. I don't think you can poo-poo losing 18 in a row. Something's wrong. Because his numbers are good, Chris. It's about affecting winning and changing a culture. So you're telling me he's good, or he puts up good numbers, but he won't start winning until A, you get rid of the coach, B, you go get player number 2, 3, or 4, and that's the only way that Wemby's going to win. And I'm not even talking about being 500, Chris, having a winning record, turning everything around overnight. I'm not talking about that. 18 in a row is ridiculous for a guy of his talent that they can't win a game. I mean, you're looking at the Pistons. They don't have anybody close to Wemby. Nobody close.
Well, not close to Wemby,
No.
but Cade Cunningham was viewed as a great player too. Nobody's this guy. Nobody's this guy.
Right, and that's what I'm saying.
But I'm just saying,
they've
there are
lost
other
21
good players,
in a row.
though.
And they've lost 21 in a row. And I can't look at that Pistons roster and Wemby and say it's the same team. Because if Cade and Wemby are the same, Chris, he ain't gonna be no generational talent.
I'm just saying good. I totally see it differently. I don't expect a 19-year-old kid to come in and win. I just don't. I just read, is LeBron a generational talent? Because he won one. Because he was 4-15 instead of 3-20.
18.
That's that big of a difference.
Yeah, it is when you have teams like Washington.
What do you mean? We've always had bad teams in the league. This ain't new.
This bad. Washington and Detroit. You got three teams that got to win between three teams.
There's always horrible teams in the NBA.
Three teams like this, and then you got other teams. There's Portland. There's a handful of teams.
That's not different than any other year.
All I'm saying is I don't remember. I'd have to look it up the last time there were two teams that have lost 18 or more at the same time, Chris. That's what I'm talking about. I don't
even know if the Spurs have played. I mean, Rob G could check it out. I don't even know if they've played Washington or Detroit. I mean, maybe. But my point is, there's always bad teams in the league. There's always bottom feeders in the league. And I don't expect you can't name me a 19-year-old that came in and you talk about impacted winning. Impacted winning. Magic Johnson went to a team that had the reigning MVP Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, but they didn't win anything until he got there.
Jamal Wilkes.
Yeah, but
they were a playoff team.
No, but they didn't get to win that next level. He made the big difference when he got there, Chris.
And he also was older. He was 20 years old.
That's fine. But
he had played 3 years of college.
That's fine.
And he was on the team with the freaking MVP.
But everybody's talking about Wemby. Oh, this guy's going to Hall of Fame. He's going to be the greatest player who ever played. And to get off to this start with a Hall of Fame coach.
Well, that's another thing. How about the Hall of Fame coach losing his fastball? The Hall of Fame coach is not doing a Hall of Fame job, that's for sure. And just like Belichick, I wouldn't take anything away from the great Greg Popovich and all he's accomplished in this sport. It's tremendous. He's arguably the greatest coach ever. But even the great ones, Rob, Larry Brown. You think Larry's the greatest NBA coach ever, and I don't even want to argue that because he's in the discussion. Or I wouldn't put him in the discussion, but he's a top 10 coach of all time, maybe top 5. He's a great one.
He's the only one.
He has some bad years.
Isn't he the only one to win in college?
In college and the NBA.
In the NBA.
Yep.
Nobody else has ever done that. That's what makes him
a lot of them didn't coach in college.
Yeah,
not Division I.
There's some great ones who have, but they never won.
But he was horrible in New York. Horrible. He was starting dudes based on them where their hometown was. Oh, we're going to Portland. You're from Portland. You're going to start. He was horrible with Team USA when we lost in the Olympics with Tim Duncan and LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony. Horrible. So he was horrible. Not horrible, but he had his issues in Indiana, remember? They got rid of him, brought in Larry Bird. Next thing you know, they're one of the top teams in the league. So great coaches can have their struggles. And when I watch these Spurs, I see an undisciplined team. I see a team that doesn't recognize that Victor Wembanyama is their best player. I see guys, like looking him off, not throwing him the ball when he's open, making just bad fundamental mistakes. And I think some of their players are decent. But my point is, Robin, you know this, young players, this is why you don't want a team full of all young players. Like, young players want to prove how good they are individually, which I get because they want to get that big contract after their rookie scale. They're more concerned with that, showing I can play at a high level than winning. And so you've got guys doing that. Where I thought Popovich is that he needs to let them know, and I'm not saying maybe he has, but he's not getting through. He needs to let them know, look, your future here depends on how well you play with Victor Wembanyama. That's what it should. And I don't even want the offense to run through him completely because I think he's too young for that. I'm not ready to put that on him. But I don't think they've been utilizing him to the degree that they should or could. And so I don't hold this against Wemby at all. But let's see what the listeners think.
Hold on,
Rob.
let me just throw this out. Last thing, I got some stats here. Longest.
No, Rob G got some stats.
Longest. No. I got some stats. It's called a radio show.
It's called him sending them to you.
Okay, I got stats.
It's cool.
During and the stats you recite on television, you come up with all of them?
Most of them.
Yeah, okay. All right.
No,
I
mean, you
don't do
most
that.
of them,
Don't
yeah.
do that, Chris.
Rob,
you don't have
most
any,
of them, yes.
Do you have
Not
help?
all of them, but
do you
most
have
of
help?
them?
I'm asking you. Do they help you?
Are you okay?
Do you have help? Come on, man. It doesn't matter where I got them from. I got the numbers. All right?
You got a problem with Rob G sending them to you? Well, then why you acting all
because you're acting
babyish?
like it's some like it's some double secret, like, oh my God,
a producer
you're actually
acting
gave
like it's
you
double
something.
Secret.
No, you are.
You're the one I got
like
stats. Why don't you say check these stats out Rob G sent me? If it ain't a secret.
I have them.
Yeah, you have them because he sent them to you.
And you've never said on television, here's
I
a
never
stat.
said that.
Here's a stat.
I never said
and
that.
guess what? Bill Jones, who gave me the stats this afternoon
Actually,
in the stat packet.
Right,
you've never said that. So it sounds stupid that you would say it now.
Rob, if you
Chris,
I know you never miss first things first.
Let me talk, please. Just be quiet right now.
Go
KG,
ahead.
7 games in a row, the most. AD, this is rookie year longest.
Really? You comparing
losing streak.
KG to Wembanyama? KG averaged 10 points a game as a rookie? Stop
AD.
it.
LeBron had 8-game losing streak. Shaq, 6, and Michael Jordan, 5. All I'm telling you is when people give you the billing that you could be the greatest player who ever played and you lose 18 in a row, you got to push back from the table.
He can't be the greatest player that can ever play.
I
know, might be. Make a statement. Say it with your chest.
Well,
he cannot be the greatest player ever because he lost 18 straight. Is
I'm just saying. I'm going to question it.
Then you ain't saying jack.
I'm questioning it.
Then you ain't saying. No, you ain't even questioning it.
I am questioning it right now.
You say it with your chest. Yes or no, Rob Parker? Same thing you do to our callers. Yes or no?
Chris,
is he disqualified from being the best player ever?
Nobody said that, but I'm going to challenge you people who propped him up. And just like you, this is the problem with guys.
You're not saying anything.
This is you. No, I can't hold it against them, but you're ready to prop up guys as soon as they get into the league. Oh, Patrick Mahomes is Jordan Nash. He's Michael Jordan.
He is.
No, he's not Michael Jordan.
2 Super Bowls.
No, he ain't. 2
MVPs in his first 5 years.
He's lost at home.
Pretty darn good.
To Joe Burrow. He's lost at home to Joe Burrow.
Michael Jordan didn't even win a championship in his first 6 years. So
he never lost.
I actually think Mahomes is ahead of him.
Mahomes has lost twice already.
All right. And for the record, I've often gone on TV and said, Dusty, my man Dusty gave me these numbers. Josh gave me these numbers. So there you go, Rob Parker. How you like them apples?